My brother Shaq, thank you so much and welcome back to Black Entrepreneurs Day. And we're going to have one of our amazing game changer conversations sponsored by The General. So thank you. People always talk about our conversations and I learned so much. So welcome back, man.
Thanks for having me, sir. How are you?
I am amazing. A lot of people don't know that you've already investing $1.1 million into Boys and Girls Club in Atlanta.
I'm focusing on kids in Atlanta and Vegas because this is the places that I live. The kids see me, the people see me, the community sees me. In Henry County, Georgia, where I live, about 35 minutes south of Atlanta, they didn't have a Boys and Girls Club, so I wanted to renovate this building, give them a place to just hang out and do their thing. The Boys and Girls Club for me, growing up in Newark, New Jersey, in the projects, they were a safe haven. I was able to go in there and cultivate the character that the world knows as Shaq. So all the proceeds from my charity event, all the proceeds go to helping kids in need.
Well, and I want to make sure that people know that's called the Shaquille O'Neal Foundation.
Yes, Shaquille O'Neal Foundation, helping those in need.
What is the discipline you have to excel in so many different areas?
When I was younger, as you know this, me and you, we were in competition. Not really, but I wanted to just do everything by myself because people would always say, you can't, you can't, you can't. One word I wish I would have paid attention to was partnerships. For example, if I would have partnered with you in our urban clothing brand, I probably could have doubled and tripled your money. I made a little bit of money. You made a lot of money. If I was to do a show now where people, similar to your Shark Tank show, first thing I would do is come, ask you how much you're making, times it by 3, and say, this is what I'm offering you. This is what we want to do. I'll let you produce it. Bada bam, bada bing, we'll sell it. You can have 49%. You know what? Let's go equal. You can have 50%. Hopefully you would say yes, rather than me trying to run everything by myself. So now I'm focused on partnerships, relationships, and valuing, people's time. When people pay money to see me perform, I want to give them a great show.
Well, it's not easy finding partners where we come from, and we have this guard that we put up for often the right reasons, and we don't want to let people in. How do you get people to be a little more vulnerable? Because that's what entrepreneurs are, right? You being
Yes.
a massive star, you still said,
Right.
I need partners. What do we say to the people right now who are afraid?
I like to take things that are difficult and break them down to a simplest form. For example, if I'm going to get into the gym business, I'm going to try to find the partner with the most experience. If you don't have any experience, like I don't have any experience, I don't think that'd be a good investment. If you find a guy that has worked for Lifetime Fitness in the executive, department for 10, 15 years, he knows what he's doing, but he wants to do something else. That'll probably be a good partner to have. He knows the ins and outs, he knows the structure, he knows all the real estate deals, he knows how they, pick their 100 square foot properties, he knows the ins and outs. So whenever I partner up with somebody, I want to partner up with somebody that has the most experience. Because when you partner up with somebody that has a lot of experience, you let them be who they are. And if you don't micromanage them, and if you, develop a great relationship with them, the return on your investment will always be good. When I first got into my Five Guys, the guy said, hey, we want to offer you these Five Guys. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that there was this guy at McDonald's in Orlando. He always took care of me. He was a manager, and he was a manager, and he was a manager. Damon, I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Right.
The same deal that I offered you, I said, hey, how much you making? I said, I'll tell you what, I'm about to get 155 franchises. I need you to run them. I'm probably going to just blow them up and then sell them. You get a big percentage of that. I need you to come do it. He had a meeting with his family. He did it. We had those 155 Five Guys. We sold them. We made a lot of money. But that was when I said to myself, I wish I would have did this early. It's all about partnerships and relationships. Because he was running all the McDonald's in Orlando.
Right.
And I knew this for a fact because I used to go personally. I used to do charity stuff with him. He'd introduce me to people. And when I was trying to get into the McDonald's franchising, they turned me down because they said, Shaq, we love you, but in order to run the McDonald's, you have to go to McDonald's University. You have to buy store, you have to work at the store and do this and that. And I couldn't do that, but he was already doing that.
Hmm.
So when I, offered him the deal of, hey, I'm going to pay you double what you're making, and then when we sell these things, you're going to be a big percentage. You're going to be my partner.
And what I like about that, I think that you partner with somebody. You went to them though, because I think when people do seek out partners, I want to make this very clear. No partnership is ever worth it if somebody's all of a sudden in a rush. It needs to happen today, right? Because business is a marathon, right? If it needs to happen
Yeah.
today, I'm sorry, man, leave me alone. Or, I'm cool, right? Because it's some form of being desperate. You want people that you respect, you value, and they have to, as you said, he had to go back and talk to his family. He didn't just jump off of that because that is a person who's calculating and they're making a career decision. And you want a partner like that that's going to ask you sometimes the tough questions as well. Well, what are you going to do? Oh, are you going to exit, or is this long term? Where's my piece in it? So you want people to ask you just as many questions, and you don't want them to be desperate. So I think that's a value, and you have proven that already. Another investment that you made recently is something that I made as well. I lost 40 pounds in the last 6 months naturally. I've been seeing you on social, you're looking amazing. When did you start to, as busy as we both are, because everybody's going to say we're too busy, how do you do that?
I had a syndrome called CBOTBB. That's Charles Barkley over the belly belt. So I said, okay, remember that word partnership we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
I'm going to partner up with a pharmaceutical company that really cares, doing natural stuff and some stuff at work. So I met with a lot of people and took a lot of supplements. I met this company in Utah, Gina is her name, and the product we came up with was GF9. And it works like a charm. Again, keep in mind, it's not a miracle. You just can't take a pill and do everything wrong. You still have to continue to do everything right.
That's what I'm about to
I
say.
changed
You change your
Yes,
diet
yes.
too, right?
Oh yeah, change the diet. So I eat a very healthy breakfast, couple shakes, some salad, some steak, and some finish. Laid off the sandwiches, laid off the burgers, and did all that. And then before I knew it, I was coming down. So
I didn't know, but what is it called? GF9?
yes, GF9,
Excellent.
GF9.
And more importantly, though, there's no shortcuts. You change your
No,
diet because there's an
yeah,
old saying:
yeah,
you
yeah.
cannot outrun the fork.
You got to change your diet. And then if you don't do any working out, a lot of people don't go to the gym, can't afford to go to the gym. Just walk 30 minutes a day. Just walk.
Yeah.
Walk. Get that 30 minutes to 45, get it an hour. Put your your headphones in, turn some music on. You got some puppies. Just walk. And that'll be your form of, getting your heart rate up, and then everything else will do what it's supposed to do. I was looking really bad. And then I said to because I'm the type that I have to see things to like motivate. So every year I go to Miss Olympia and I see those dudes with all those muscles. I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let me see if I can do that. So, the other day I posted, I threw some baby oil on, and I was in the gym and I was doing my Mr. Olympia poses. Went viral. I called it Thought Daddy Thursday. It kind of went viral. I didn't want it to go viral, but so now that I'm getting in really good shape, I'm gonna try to take it to where when I take my shirt off, you see nothing but the He-Man doll. I want to get like The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. You see
Uh,
those guys, how phenomenal they look?
but
Yeah,
Mark wakes up 3 o'clock in the
yeah,
morning, man.
I know he does, but yeah, I want to get like that.
What tips would you have to the parents right now who, we can't give our kids adversity. We want to give our kids everything we didn't have, but if you give them everything, then they become the poorest person in the world. How do you balance that with your children?
I would tell them, make them earn it, because if you give them the stuff that we didn't have, they will not develop the fight and the drive to obtain what we have. I can easily give my son $1 million, or say, you know what, you want $1 million? Write me a business report. Let me know what you're gonna do with the $1 million. You want it tax free, or you gonna pay me the tax later? How do you want the $1 million? You force them to learn these things. Because when I got my first $1 million, I thought I was getting $1 million. I had no idea what FICA was, knew anything about state income tax, never knew I had to file tax report. I didn't know any of that. So, when we say get an education, of course that means go to school. But now, if you talk to certain people, if you get the Dummy's Guide to Starting Your Own Business, if you just look up information, you could actually really teach yourself about business.
The fundamentals are now being changed, but get your kids to just write a business proposal for $1,000. Write something to tell me and be able to express it on paper on why you deserve it.
See, right now, just being 18 and 19 and being an adult, if I give it to you, you're not going to be ready. You're going to do what all the other kids do. Balenciaga, chains, Ferraris,
Yeah.
trips, right? And you're not going to save it. You know, a friend of mine told me that the value of money is not how much you make, how much you keep. And I had to go home and write that down. I'm like, damn, I got $1 million. What does that mean? Okay, first of all, you really don't have $1 million. You're living in California. You only got 490,000. Now what you gonna do, big time? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna go and get this Benz for 100,000. But the 100,000 went for it. The 300,000, I'm putting it away. I don't want. I'm putting that away. Now I got to start all over. Then you get another check and another check. So once I heard that statement, I learned how to save. And then when I looked and saw what I had, I was like, wow, this is nice. So again, all the people listening, it's not about how much money you got, it's about how much money you save.
So listen, Shaq, I am not going to take up any more of your time. You've given us three years of amazing inspiration, but I really want to highlight you always play the game at the highest level, whether it's on the court or whether it's not one franchise, it's 150 franchises, or whether it's changing your diet and helping other people. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, man. Thank you for always being a great partner.
Thank you.
We can learn so much from you, man. Thank you. And thank you to the General for this game-changing conversation, as always.
And for a great low rate, you can get online. Go to the General and save some time.
That's a great partner.
Thank you, brother.